Hey guys, and welcome to the Hobby News. Okay, so this week we've got some Kill Team, and one that's close to my heart. Now, I will say that I was hoping for something a little different for Chaos Space Marines, but I am happy with what they're releasing. I think that that's cool. But yeah, it would have been nice to have seen something a little different. We'll talk about that in a second, but maybe in the future they might do something. But yeah, still, it's a pretty fun kit for Kill Team and gives us I guess, the adversary to the Corsairs, which will be coming out for this, I suppose, Nachmund box set or starter box set or whatever you call it for Kill Team. So we'll take a look. So the new Chaos Space Marines Kill Team is here, and they've got a host of new ways to slay. So we're still not quite recovered from seeing, okay, the Corsairs, and now we've got Chaos, which we kind of knew because it was leaked, I think. Someone picked up on it, and that's been going around the internet. So we kind of knew that this was going to be the team that the Corsairs were versing. But it was interesting to see what they would do for Chaos, and it looks like it's going to be an upgrade sprue, which is what they're showing us here. So I think, where does it say that? Yeah, so... Yep, so much like the Tau Pathfinders from the Kill Team, Kalnath set, this box provides a ton of new customization options for an existing kit. Legendary Kill Team commanders are going to be spot for choice. So it is really cool, and here they are. So I am glad that they've got this. It is a really nice thing for Chaos Space Marines to have an additional upgrade sprue so that you can further customize your Marines and so on in Chaos Space Marine forces for 40k, even if it's not in Kill Team. So it is really cool that they're getting this, but I guess what I would have really loved to have seen is more like in the vein of Underworlds, where you get unique units, or like some of the ones we've seen in previous, like the Orc one and so on, or the Corsair one, just like a set of models which is kind of unique. I would have loved to have seen a more Legion of the Damned style unit, like a Dirty Dozen, for Chaos. So one aspiring champion leading it, with a host of abhumans and chaos cultists and turned imperial officers and things like that are doing covert operations behind enemy lines on an imperial world, that sort of thing, because that's exactly what they would be doing, right? That's the kind of unit, or the kind of composition of models or whatever or characters that you would see in this type of Kill Team scenario. It probably wouldn't be an entire squad of Chaos Space Marines. They're rare. They're not going to be on the planet before the main force comes down. This is sort of more like a unit that would be, fighting during major wartime. Whereas I was hoping they would take the point of view from a little bit before open war, and you're seeing the Chaos Space Marine aspiring champion leading this motley band, being basically worshipped as a god, and getting that kind of vibe going, which you often see in a lot of the older stories and Black Library books. One notable one, if you want to listen to one, is the really old school book Eye of Terror. There is actually, I think, the Border Prince guy on YouTube does the audiobook of it. Like he reads it, and it's awesome. It's I think the writer unfortunately has passed away. I'm pretty sure that's the one. I can't remember his name, but maybe someone can tell me in the comments. But that old Eye of Terror book, this isn't the Eye of Terror one that I think is a Horus Heresy one. It's not a Horus Heresy one. This is a 40k novel called Eye of Terror, and it really goes into really great detail on what Chaos actually is, and being on those Chaos worlds and the way Chaos works. And also you get to see sort of a bit of the dynamic of how Chaos Space Marines are and so on. And it paints this kind of picture, you get to see an individual Chaos Space Marine as kind of a god figure, as kind of someone that they look up to, as a, it's almost like, praying at a shrine almost. They're a walking embodiment of the thing that they worship. And it's an interesting book. It really goes into a lot of good detail, and I'd urge you to read or listen to that. And that's the kind of thing I would have loved to have seen shown here in Kill Team. But, that's another story. But I'm not upset by what we're seeing. So let's go through the miniatures and have a look, because I think it is really great. Like, Chaos Space Marines, like Orcs, are one of those factions where you're wanting to do a lot of conversion, a lot of interesting little unique, weapon swaps, head changes, and so on, because Chaos gives you that great option, right? You can do mutations, you can do all that sort of thing, and make them truly unique. And so that's great that they get another sprue. So we're seeing them here, extra faces, weapons, and so on, which is great. If we move across, yeah, and we're seeing some other options here, double-handed weapon. I'm assuming that's the upgrade sprue, possibly the face as well. You know, you are seeing a few little interesting changes that could be fun, like this sort of mutations here, which I'm assuming is part of the kit, or this helmet here with the skull face. I think all of those things are fun and interesting for Chaos players for sure. And then we're seeing here, this one's really cool, this the bionic eye here. I think that's fun. I'm pretty sure that's an upgrade sprue component, I would imagine. You know, weapons cool too, but this is the sort of the little character elements, I think, is what's fun about all of this, and the thing that Chaos players are going to want to muck around with most of all, I guess, rather than necessarily Kill Team. For Kill Team, this is, you know, a pretty stock standard kind of kit, but for Chaos Space Marine armies, that's where I think it's going to, you know, have its most effect is all the little conversions that people will do, like this. Like this is a great model. This is probably the standout one out of the kit, really. You know, the flaming weapon, the rune encrusted, you know, skin on the skull here, with the grin and so on, and the little flame in the hand, and this little back piece with the skull backpack and so on. I think that's really fun. You know, a little bit of additional details here on the leg. Even this torso is kind of interesting. We're seeing a ribbing here, which is, you know, echoing the old Beaky Boy Mark 6 armor, which is really fun. But then with this sort of more, I guess, dynamic mid-drift here, where you're able to move more freely because it's not all encased in armor, so that's nice. And, you know, just those little tiny nods and changes make this model here probably the most fun one out of the lot, and I think the one that will be, I guess, the painter's choice, I would imagine. You know, I think the painter's done a really great job here. They've got the lighting effects here with a little spotlight on the armor there, which is nice, and up on the shoulder pad as well. You know, this is cool. This is probably my favorite, and the one that I think if I was going to muck around with these, that's what I would probably paint. But yeah, overall, it's pretty cool. I think the Corsairs are still the darling of the box, you know, and if anyone's going to be picking it up, we'll come down here and have a look. So yeah, so this will be the kit, and you're getting a set of terrain, which I think is part of their industrial set that they normally do. But you know, a good amount of terrain for the box, but the Corsairs are really going to be what sell this, I would imagine, and what people will be looking for. And yeah, you get a nice bunch of you know, terrain pieces here that you can add, and it is nice that they've got all these, they do these sort of new boxes as they go along with Kill Team, with new sets of terrain and that sort of thing, because as you go, you'll build up a huge collection of this stuff, which will be great for Necromunda as well, right? I mean, if you're doing Necromunda, if you're doing Kill Team, you're probably interested in Necromunda as well, and all of this stuff would be great for Necromunda. So that's a nice thing. But in terms of price, it's hard to say what this kit is going to eventually be. As we know, every year Games Workshop generally does price increases, so who knows what it's going to be. For us in Australia and New Zealand, it's probably going to be extremely expensive, but you know, if it's what you're into, I guess, then it can be worth it. Certainly the Corsair models are great, and I think that's more likely to be the thing that people will go for, although I think they'll wait for a single box mostly to muck around with those, as I will be. But yeah, overall, not a bad kit. It's going to be fun, and for Chaos players, you know, this is nice. I don't know what this sort of says about the future of the Chaos Codex for 40k, but you know, it is nice at least that they're getting some upgradable options, and hopefully that continues for their book as well when it comes out for 40k. So I guess we'll leave that there. It's yeah, it's interesting. I'm definitely liking Kill Team and what they're offering up. It gives a lot of options. I've said this before, but it's sort of like the underworlds for 40k. You get to see a lot of unique characters and sculpts, which are going to be fun to paint, and interesting sort of conversion opportunities for your main 40k armies. So yeah, pretty fun. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Please hit that like button, subscribe button. It really helps me out, and I guess I'll catch you on the next one.